Hello, everybody, and welcome to a thing we're doing. I guess you can call it an Isekai podcast. Yes, that's right. Welcome to a new podcast. It's like other podcasts, but in another world.
Right.
Let our dulcet tones take you to another world. And I have here my super special guests. Ku, you can start. Introduce yourself.
Special. What's up, guys? Ku Cullen here. I don't have jack shit to do with anime. I'm on to Donghua right now. But I'm here to chat about Goblin Slayer and Bunny Senpai because they're the only anime I've watched this season. And I'm looking forward to the chat blowing up when they realize I'm the only member of the original Kotatsu here today.
Wow, I just noticed that.
No.
I'm looking forward to people being like, "Oh God, it's nothing." No.
Kotatsu Brotherhood.
Kotatsu, brother. This was the real. We're following the manga this time.
We should have called this the Kotatsu.
Kotatsu. Plus, well, there's not. It's not.
That's the time
Isla,
skip.
go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ayla. I do have a lot to do with anime. I love anime. I make videos on my channel. They're usually big, passionate, overly emotional, highly edited, insane little videos that I like to make about passionate anime. There you go. That's what I do.
Incredibly well edited. She's going to be like a worldwide phenomenon in a couple more videos.
Oh,
Give it time.
Oh.
It's going to happen.
Wait, she's not already?
This is true.
Did I miss that?
Not in the anime world. Right now, she's worldwide for the Netflix world.
I will stab you all. Let's go.
Is she Mrs. Worldwide?
Mrs. Worldwide. Jeez. Scott, go ahead.
All right. What's up? This your boy Scott. I have a lot to do with anime, but unfortunately, my channel doesn't have structure. So there's that. Live reactions, reviews, manga reviews, and whenever I have time for.
Excellent. And last and least is Tony. No, I'm kidding. Tony, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oof. So let me get this straight. You wanted to start off this podcast with a ramble instead of a yawn? Come on, man. The yawn would have been memorable.
Actually, I just thought of something too. There's also two members of Rant Cafe in here as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's been so long since I've thought about the Rant Cafe. But hey everybody, I'm Tony, known as the Black Critic Guy. I used to review anime and movies on a weekly basis, and then Isla showed up, and now I can't do anything because she's too good.
It's too much.
I'm like, why should I even try, man?
Right. It's like I saw her videos. I'm just like,
She can do what I do in 5 minutes.
Oh, and I'm gonna go ahead and just address this one right off the top. Yes, Tony's mic sounds weird. We can't.
I'm sorry. I thought my headphones had a microphone in it, but apparently it doesn't. So you must forgive me.
Exactly. There's what do you call it? Extenuating circumstances.
Yes,
I'm Canadian. We don't speak good here up here.
Wait, are we all from different regions as well? Wait a minute.
Actually, yeah, I think so. Or
Canada.
no.
Well, Cool's in America now.
Which is why it killed me that you guys wanted to do. Well, Isekai works because I guess we're all from technically different worlds.
Yeah.
But I put in my bid that it should be called Anime Worldwide since we were all so far apart.
Anime Worldwide reminds me too much of Prestige Worldwide.
And it would fit so well with Isla's new name, Mrs. Worldwide, too, see?
Miss Worldwide.
See?
Actually, and just for funsies, because it's titled Isekai Podcast, we were talking about naming every episode after a cheesy, really long light novel title. And I believe, Scott, you remember the name of the first episode?
Oh, yeah. It's like, do you like your podcast? And it's multi-target to his cats.
Yay! That's a real show. That it just replaced podcast with mom, and that's a real show that you're getting one day.
Exactly. We willed that into existence.
That was us. We were literally making fun of that.
That's our bad because we saw it like, what the fuck is this? And
yeah, like literally, what was it? Later, it came to be.
Thus is the genius of the Isekai podcast.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry. We'll actually get into anime now. And I think there's one specific anime this season, this autumn season. Autumn season's been really, really pretty solid so far. But I think the podcast we all want to talk about...
Wait. I think you should let the chat decide, because we know what they're going to say.
Fair. Watch them be like, Augie's show.
Oh. To be fair, on your channel, I wouldn't be surprised if they were all like, bookstore one.
Yeah, bookstore one. That video blew up inexplicably, and then the subsequent episodes did not. Just the one.
Aww.
Yeah, I was like, I really wanted to talk about this. We Love Rice Season 3. I will stab you in your sleep.
Oh my god.
We are not talking about that.
I love Bloom Into You.
I can talk about Bloom Into You. I've watched that one too.
Bloom Into You? Where's Bloom Into You?
Yeah.
Who said Bloom Into You? Did someone say Bloom? Am I on top chat?
Yeah, it was NetRaven, and yes, you must be on top chat, bro.
Damn it. I am. Why? YouTube. Damn it. Okay, let's talk about Bloom Into You.
Fucking top chat.
Hate it. Let's talk about Bloom Into You. I don't hate Bloom Into You. I hate the live chat or top chat. This
Well, if we're talking Bloom Into You, we definitely have to let Isla start, because goddamn.
Goddamn. Bloom Into You.
Goddamn.
That's a good way to start.
Yuri anime that we've had, and like I'm gonna say years because maybe the last one was like Sakura Kiss or Iohana or something, but it's the first one we've had that's not like
Citrus. Ugh.
Oh my god.
like Citrus had like a banging OP. Had like one of my favorite OPs this year, but as an anime, it's not great. Whereas Bloom Into You, it just feels more mature. It feels like it knows what it's doing, and it's not like Naomi. I forgot her name now off the top of my head, but she's like obviously Kaito, and Kaito doesn't really reciprocate the feelings, and it's just blending, and it's going slow, and I love that. I just love how slow it's taking and it's pacing and everything. I think it's one of the best Yuris we've had in a while, and we're on episode 4 at the moment. Yeah, I like it.
It's possibly the best Yuri we've had of like all time, to be honest. The only one I can think that stands anywhere near it, like Maria Samagami Teru.
Yeah.
My personal favorite Yuri is the one that's on ice.
I was just going to say, that's what Bloom Into You very much is. Like, Bloom Into You is the Yuri on ice of Yuri.
No. And with that pun, JoJo must leave the stream.
I mean, but
good night, everybody.
But honestly, though, I mean, because I watch things in this genre when I have the time to, but it's very well done. I mean, it's a very masterfully and carefully done series that I watched that first episode and I was like, wow. And, for them to actually have the end goal in mind, like that end of the first episode set up the tone for what's going to go on with this series. It's kind of like, I like when they have an idea in hand.
Yeah.
It just feels...
Actually...
That's the...
Yeah. It actually feels like the best romance from anime. The best Japanese romance I've seen since... Oh, what was that crap called? Kuzuno Honkai. Kuzuno Honkai.
Okay, wow. I can agree with that to a degree.
Yeah, that's big praise. Yeah, I mean, I do really like it. Someone in the chat's just said Asagao Tokase-san, which was actually really good. That came out this year too, but that was only like an OVA. It was about, I think it was like 90 minutes long or something, and it's a really nice little Yuri show. The manga is great, but Bloom Into You is the first series we've got in a long time that feels like it's actually doing justice to the Yuri genre. I only hope that Yaoi gets a little bit of that in the future. Just that'd be quite nice. But Yuri I finally feel like it's kind of getting somewhere. Which
yeah.
You mean banana fishes in a romance?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. We're in the second core of that. People should know the drill by now.
I was going to say, we also got a excellent yaoi anime last season. It's called Free Dive to the Future.
Oh, man.
Does that count?
No.
It wasn't yaoi enough for me.
I'm just saying, like, I loved... I'm sorry, this is the only time I'll talk about Free in this podcast, but the last episode where Haru is sitting beside Makoto and Rin and then doesn't pick either one and just runs into the ocean, I was like, that's That's the show.
I picked the sea.
He literally just screams and then runs into the sea. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, he loves the water. Duh. That's what he picked.
That's his shit. That's supremely his shit.
I still have Watch Free.
Oh my god!
I don't blame you. Like Free is that show that I adore to pieces, but when someone's like, I haven't seen it, I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah,
like I understand.
It's a little.
I mean, I haven't seen it either. I didn't check it out.
It's good, but you have to know what you're getting into.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it then. I love sexy men.
Man service. Anyway,
that's all I ever hear about. That's why I haven't watched it. I was like, well, is it good?
It's good, but it's good, and there's man service. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's actually a pretty damn solid shonen sports anime. People just focus on the man candy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As they should.
Exactly. Okay. So is that all we have to say about Bloom Into You?
I love blooming onions.
I have something to say about Bloom Into You.
Go for it.
I've not seen it.
You should do that.
Although it's very interesting you brought up the fact that it's the best romance you guys seen this year, because I mean I've only seen one that I would say is the best romance I've seen this year and probably in the last 3 years. I really loved Into the Rain, which I guess you wouldn't count. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know if it truly counts. It doesn't count as a true romance since they don't really end up together by the end. Spoiler alert. But the concept of romance in that show is really well done, and it's because especially when you deal with a high schooler loving a middle-aged man, you got those tricky lines right there. But the way they handled it was so graceful, intelligent. The message of the story was excellent, and I love the love aspect in it, both in the romantic sense and in the respect sense, Yeah. Really well done show.
Right. Yeah, I love that series. It was great. And wow, it seemed the winter was so far ago now.
It does, yeah.
I know, right?
Frank's was so long. It's been so long since I've seen Zero Two. So I feel like Ego Senpai is my new darling. It's the show
Don't speak such fallacies.
No, but here's the thing, right? It's the show that I am going to love so much, and I'm going to talk about it every week, and I'm going to get so hyped, and then it's going to disappoint me in a crushing.
Oh, it already disappointed me. I was shocked at how quick it disappointed me. Not like heavy, but I was like, uh-oh. Like as soon as.
Uh-oh. Go Highs.
Okay. Yes, absolutely, 1,000%. Chat, we will let you decide what the next show we talk about is. In the meantime, we're just going to sit here in silence.
That's never going to happen, JoJo. You talk too much, JoJo. There's no way you can sit in silence.
Okay, I didn't actually think I was going to get a moment of silence.
Am I still sitting in silence?
No, you may talk again. I didn't actually think I was going to get a moment of silence in there.
Moment of silence for all of the dead goblins last week.
Oh, we're just going to go right in? We're just going to go right in.
You got to dive in head first, baby.
Apparently not. We actually got more people asking for Bunny Senpai than Goblin Slayer. Holy shit.
Wow. Also,
I see
Veridan with that $5 donation. Thank you, Very. It's much appreciated. Veridan says, yo, what? And he looks very excited.
Oh, and you can bribe the judges, by the way. If you donate, you pretty much get to choose what JoJo talks about.
Yeah, like 1,000%. I'm not even fucking around.
1,000%. You deserve it.
You know a Canadian is serious when they say the phrase "don't fuck around." So
we don't fuck around.
Exactly. Which means
but when it comes to loonies and toonies, they love their loonies and toonies.
We do love loonies and toonies. That's why the first time I heard the word lewd, I thought it was loon, like loony. I was like, wait,
what? Really?
I'm dead serious.
I thought for the longest time people were taking the piss when they were talking about loonies and toonies being Canadian money. I was like, aha, funny.
No, that's like a loony is $1 and a toonie is $2.
I know, it's so funny.
Shut up.
I
thought they were like, "Hey, Canadians, grab your loonies."
I thought we were here to talk about anime, not about the Canadian currency.
Speaking of currency, Ambu with that $5 donation says, Rika's thighs are best girl.
Rika's, the best part about this season is Rika's thighs. Let's just all discuss Gridman.
Yeah, okay.
I actually saw a picture of these thighs that they talk of, and I must say, it does not disappoint.
Okay. All I know about Gridman is I watched the first episode. I'm like, this is very tame by Trigger standards. So I was shocked at how normal it was.
Subdued.
Yeah. And then I saw the thighs, and I was, okay.
That just made everything better.
There they are.
That's where most of the budget went, to the thighs.
Exactly. I was like, where's Trigger? I don't see Trigger. Okay.
See, here's my thing about Gridman. And being what it's based off of, which is Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. And if you've seen the millions of knockoffs they had in the 90s of Power Rangers, you'll remember that show. Gridman operates like a live action show, just like watching Power Rangers or something like that, because you have heavy minutes in the beginning of them just fucking around doing regular shit. Then the monster comes along, you get the monster fight, then they depower down and go back to human. And I don't think that's translating well in an anime form as well as I thought it would.
Yeah, I've been seeing that as a legitimate complaint against the show so far.
Sort of, but I personally, I love Gridman. I think it's really underrated this season. I'm a bit sad that people aren't really excited about it. But then I know why I love Gridman, because it feels, and this is going to sound really weird, it feels very Evangelion, and that's one of my favorite animes.
Whoa, that's a bold statement.
Now, here's why I'm saying it feels Evangelion. It's because the director takes a lot of influence from Hideki Ayano, so you can see it in the way he frames his shots. This is good. Sorry, this is so technical. You can see it in the way he frames up his shots and how he uses power lines. And there's a scene in the first episode where it pauses. I think it pauses for about 30 seconds after that girl with a volleyball hits the main character's hot dog thing out of his hand, and then it just pauses there, and the camera just pulls back, and that's it for about 30 seconds. That's so indicative of the elevator scene from Evangelion. So it feels like he's taken everything out of Hideki Ayano's rulebook and just made an anime very based on his directorial style. And I loved Evangelion, so I think that's probably why I like it. It's also got no soundtrack really until you kick into the big fight scenes and stuff. It's very understated. You can only kind of hear sound effects and things, and I think it's a really intriguing way to do an anime. I think it's very interesting.
And it feels
damn, dude. She got you, Scott.
Yeah, I got nothing. I was just gonna add to that. It's
Evangelion, do you, Scott? I don't think you do. If I remember reading that, you're not a big fan of Evangelion.
I hate Evangelion. I hate it. But it feels really live action and more reminiscent of the Godzilla type of movies, and even Ultraman, which is based off of, and it's doing a great. It's doing a great job with that. It's I absolutely hate the first episode, but the second two, once I saw where it was going, I was like, okay, this is what I signed up for. It's just that first episode for me was just so slow and barren, and nothing went on for literally 17 minutes.
That's kind of that's kind of how I felt. I remember watching it being this is I get that they want you to be kind of lulled into a false sense of security, but then all of a sudden you get that shot of it's a giant monster, and then oh, it's gonna move, right? And then no, it just stands there, and I was like, that's actually more creepy than it actually attacking than it is just standing there. And I think they knew that it looked good because they put it on posters.
Right. I like the little bit of the fourth wall break kind of that it does, because when everything's over, the city just goes back to normal. So
yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I also like the characters. Take Rika's thighs out of it. I like her character, but also her thighs. But anyway, we're Sloan. That's such a Sloan thing to be talking about thighs.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You need her here for that. And I also like Akane. I think she's a really cool character. Not to spoil, because you don't really see her character that much and what she becomes in episode 1. But if you continue into 2 and 3, you see the purple-haired one. You see what she's like, and I really like it. And also the squad, like Caliber and everybody else, they get called Neon Genesis something agents or something like that.
Middle school club or something like that.
Something like that. So yeah, again, reference to Evangelion, or at least in my mind. So I love it for that.
That's awesome. Sorry,
that
I'm
definitely
laughing
has to be a reference.
I'm just looking at Rika's thighs.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rika's thighs. This poor character.
Just imagine if you put Akane's chest on top of Rika's thighs.
Oh God, that's
whoa, calm down now, okay? There's only so much I could take.
The first thing I had seen from Gridman, like after the first episode, was somebody drew like fan art of Rika, and it was just her going like, "It's all lewd." Like it's her looking up her name, and she's just freaking out because it's all lewd fan art. Like that's all she could find. And I was like, "Yep."
I think Gridman is going to become this season's Planet With, in the sense that it's going to start with nobody's people are going to be like, "Oh, it's really rubbish," and then it's going to get amazing, and then people are going to be like, "Wow, oh my god, I should have been watching this show all along," like with Planet With, because nobody watched Planet With, and then suddenly it blew up, and everyone was watching it. So I think it's going to be that.
The fun thing is, once it does blow up, then you're going to get people like Joey the Anime Man jumping on it.
Right. Then everybody's like, oh shit, Gridman's the greatest anime I've ever seen. All of a sudden, because Joey the Anime Man seen it.
Yeah.
It's got too low a score on Mal. I know we don't base things on Mal scores, right? But it hurts me how low its score on Mal is. It doesn't deserve
that
0.89. All right?
Jeez.
That's pretty rough.
It's a good show, man.
It's Trigger. Come on.
I know, exactly. It's a trigger show. It's a trigger show. And it does feel trigger. Like it's got that kind of trigger-esqueness. And I think it'll get crazier.
I feel triggered watching it.
Oh.
On that note,
I went there, JoJo. I went there, JoJo.
How dare you?
Tony went for the low-hanging pun.
Don't at me, bro. Don't at me.
Chat, you may decide the next animu while me and Tony box virtually.
We decide the next animu while we all eat mangoes.
What's that one anime about fighting that came out like in the spring?
Every anime ever?
Can you be a little bit more direct?
I'm sorry. I only remember how awful the opening theme was. It's such a sporadic, like almost cracky opening theme. Oh fuck! What's it called? It was like a fighting anime. Yes, there we go. Megalobox.
How dare you? The Megalobox opening's awesome.
It's not. It's
so
really
cool.
not. It's really
Chat,
not.
I give you permission to kill Tony.
Oh, go ahead and kill the black man first. I see. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
They're you to me.
Okay.
So
okay.
So a bunch of bunny and slime and some type of slayer.
Oh yeah, no, slime won. Holy shit, 4 for slime.
Okay, slime it is. Okay, so slime Isekai Wa podcast finally talking about an isekai.
I think it's one of the only isekais this season, though. There's not many.
No, not really. Like,
well,
is I'm trying to think of like.
We'll get to that.
Wait, what else is?
We have the return of the original isekai.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll get there.
Possibly Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer isn't an isekai; it's just set in a D&D game.
Yeah. That's the thing. Right?
There's no one from the real world in the D&D game, so it's just a different world.
Right.
Like I have a feeling we'll see how we'll talk about Goblin Slayer for later. We're not talking about Goblin Slayer. We're talking about slime.
What do we think of the pacing and the slime show? Because by the poster art, it looks like he's going to turn into a Giddle, but that hasn't happened yet, and we're 4 episodes in, and usually things like that would happen already. So like he's still a slime. He's just kind of making his way to. Where's it going? Really, is my
downtown. He's making his way downtown.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I wanted to
say
downtown. You stop that right now before this podcast turns into a joke.
Oh, this is so gonna get flagged.
And I need you. Sorry.
Did you guys see that meme with Waluigi?
Yes, I saw that.
Making my way downtown.
making my wire downtown. Anyway,
every time you close your eyes.
By the way, Ira, you might want to get used to him being a slime the whole time. I read the manga.
Oh.
Yeah, the concept's pretty simple. Guys slime in another world and freaky deaky with girls. There you go.
I thought by the poster art and stuff. I thought he kind of
because like in the opening shows him like.
Are you telling me you're lying to me? 8-bit, that studio that made such great animes as I can't think of them in the moment, but
I was gonna say, where you go?
What a great studio! What a great studio!
What else has 8-bit done?
They made
such memorable works like
that one.
Tokyo Ravens.
Hang on, I gotta look at it.
I freaking love Tokyo Ravens. I haven't thought about that in forever.
Guys, sorry. They made Encouragement of the Climb, so.
Oh
my god!
You insulted encouragement, inadvertently insulted my girls.
How could I do that? They also made that really cute show about the mummies from a few seasons ago. How to Keep a Mummy. That was How to Keep a Mummy.
That show was adorable. I didn't give it a chance. I feel bad.
How to Keep Mummies?
Yeah, it's like a pet mummy, but like tiny. It was cute.
Pet mummy?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I missed
They made Mahoka. They're trash. Let's move on.
Guys, I want to just apologize on behalf of everybody here that this podcast has become derailed.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to keep us more wrangled. Okay, so
I feel like I'm talking to Sloan, the female talking.
Oh god.
Ouch.
By the way, before anyone,
reference.
you know what? Actually, we'll talk about where they are later at the end of the podcast. Gonna keep the mystery in the air while we talk about slime.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. So okay, in regards to Slime's pacing, I actually kind of like that we don't already see them as see the main character become like a girl, although they're not technically a girl.
Yeah.
They're genderless. No good.
I'm just saying they must come across a human girl at some point and they must swallow it.
Yeah, which is that's gonna be messed up.
And it does,
like, because they have to like, in order to turn into something, they have to like this. Rimuru straight up has to like eat them like Kirby.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. That's my favorite Smash Bros. Character.
Yeah, like is there gonna be like a character? I think, in spoilers, I could be right or wrong. I don't know. I think he's gonna come across the girl we see at the beginning of episode 1, like the first person to show up.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Yeah, like I think he'll run into her, and he'll take her, and like spit her back out, but he'll like take her form.
I think he's not going to spit her back out, bro.
This can go wrong in so many ways.
I know. It's like, well, I mean, as we all know, I'm not even going to go there. Never mind.
No, JoJo, go there. Go there now. Go there now.
No. My squeaky clean image ruined forever.
Do it for Scott.
Yes.
Since he's not here with us.
Do it for Scott. Or just do it for Scott then. Yes. No, I'm not doing that. But what I will say is that the hobgoblins, in particular,
Goblin?
what is his name? Rigger? Not Riggard. That's the dad.
Oh God.
Rigger, like the son with the bandana.
Yeah.
No.
He turned into like Goblin Makoto so fast. That really confused me because I'm like, oh no, he's attractive now, and I don't know how to feel about that. That really made, and so we're all like the Goblinas. I was like, I don't know, I don't like this anymore.
It's nice that we've got some nice goblins this season, though. You know.
Yeah, as opposed to a pack of
goblins are never
great a crossover would that be if in one of the episodes Slayer just turns up.
Like, did you say goblins?
Pretty nice community you got here, buddy.
Be ashamed of somebody.
Oh god, get him away.
I don't know what show to believe.
He's like the Punisher of goblins.
He really is. That's the thing, right? Like, who do you believe?
Yeah.
It's two different worlds. I mean,
goblins are predominantly evil, at least from what I know.
They
Yeah,
are.
I mean-
Like, I mean, by D&D standards, they are just straight up, like, evil.
they're neutral evil. They have no sense of morality. They give zero fucks.
Yeah.
Although in D&D, they certainly don't do things to human women. Jesus.
Unless you got very twisted.
You're not being very, very subtle about that, Koo.
Everyone says in the chat that this fall is the season of goblins, which is very true because you've got Slime, you've got Goblin Slayer, and then Release the Space. The evil people in Release the Space are like a goblin troop. They're not actual goblins, but the name of the troop's like a goblin troop thing.
Oh my god.
So like, there's 3 shows.
Well, there's actually 4.
Yeah, SAO had a goblin in it.
They did. They have a horde of goblins right now.
Look, there you go.
Did the anime community just come together and said, "Hey, you know what we need to do? We need to like do goblins in like the majority of our series this winter."
Oh, I felt like JonTron. Like I was just like, no, I don't like them. I don't like goblins.
I hate goblins. I
wait,
hope they die.
Wait, JoJo. Who's JonTron?
JonTron.
Yeah, and who's that?
You know JonTron.
No, who's that?
Are you serious?
I've never heard of that guy.
Okay. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Is he supposed to be like some type of famous YouTube gamer or something?
We will discuss later.
Yeah, I feel like Tony's fucking around. But yes, he's a huge YouTuber.
Yes, he's very prolific.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Koo. I would never lie to JoJo.
Sure.
Anyway, Slime is a solid thumbs up. I wouldn't necessarily give it like a gold star or anything, but I do really enjoy Slime.
I would agree with that. I wouldn't say it's like, oh my god, it's the best thing I'm watching this season, but I do think it's really good, and I'm going to continue it. Or like,
I give it 4 G's out of 5.
I like the Tsundere Dragon. That was pretty cool.
Tempest is my boy, and I will protect him.
Wait, there's a Tsundere Dragon again?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Like, it's not like I want to be your friend.
It's adorable.
That'd be the 3rd time I've seen a Tsundere Dragon.
But yeah. I guess that's all we have to say on Slime. We're just gonna go ahead and move into Goblin Slayer now because we've already kind of
Goblin Slayer is hijacked.
I'm so excited. I've not seen Goblin Slayer, so I'm excited to hear what the fuss is all about.
Oh, Goblin Slayer.
Opening episode. That's where the fuss comes from. Like that.
I've heard about this infamous rape scene apparently. So.
And that's the thing. It depends on your side of the spectrum. I mean, if you watch 90s anime, you watch that scene like this is nothing.
Well, I fall under the male side of the spectrum, I think. I'm kind of in the middle.
Har.
But like it's early in the morning. Give me a break.
That's fair.
I fell in that 90s anime, growing up in 90s anime type thing as well. So like when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is just really violent. And it didn't really like, it didn't shock, well, it did shock me. That's a lie. It did, I was, wow, that's quite graphic, but not enough for the level of outrage that it's gotten, I guess, because I've watched a lot of violent anime. And like, not to throw the Berserk thing in again, like everyone's like, oh, Berserk, Berserk, because it's so violent and whatever. Like if you think Goblin Slayer's bad, wait till you see Berserk. Like obviously what happens in the first episode of Goblin Slayer is traumatic, and it's not nice. It's not nice viewing. No one's watching that and going, oh, that looks fantastic, that looks great. It's violent and it's awful, but there's a reason for it. Like there's a reason that they're depicting this world to be violent, because that's really what fantasy worlds probably are supposed to be like. You know, they're not meant to be lovely, happy, fun adventures. Like if you went to a fantasy world with goblins, real goblins, that's probably what would happen. Like there would be real violence.
I'm glad you clarified that, because that was my question the whole time. Is like, I understand you might be offended by it, but does it work in the context of the story? Like, is there a reason for this rape scene?
Yes, because goblins are scum and they deserve to die.
Yes, they're the bad guys.
Calm down, Samuel L. Jackson.
I have had it. These motherfucking goblins.
So, in regards to the violence. In regards to violence, are we talking like Ninja Scroll violence or Berserk violence?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have as much blood as Ninja Scroll, but it's more graphic in that like you see some really fucked up shit. Right. There's like 6 goblins all cutting a man to pieces at one point.
It's Berserk level violence, and
we're not at Corpse Party yet, then, right?
No.
No.
Oh,
but the thing, it's people that like praise Berserk, and this same exact scenario happened in Berserk before. And
I think it was worse in Berserk. I mean, the Casca thing was bad enough, but I mean, the horse thing, holy shit!
Right.
Berserk is just mind-blowingly. Like I don't know Berserk sometimes.
I mean, we do remember that even Guts got raped as a kid. Or I guess they didn't really show it in the anime. In the manga, they did.
Yeah.
They kind of did in the movie. We got a flashback and saw him getting raped. So.
And we got a cave full of rape trolls in season 2, but no one watched it because no one got past that first episode because of the CGI.
You can see that fucking bunny rabbit in that first episode. People dropped that series. But yeah, speaking of like old school anime, they used to do that kind of shit a lot in anime.
Yeah,
even Gantz started off with the main girl Kay almost being raped by a gangster.
Wait, in Gantz?
Gantz, yeah. Go back to Gantz. Things like Wicked City.
Did I miss that scene? I must have missed that scene.
It was literally like the first scene when the humans first start appearing. Kay, the first girl who appears, gets grabbed by a Yakuza and he tries to rape her.
Oh, right, that's right. He does try to rape her. But he doesn't. He's not successful.
He's not successful, no. But I mean, it's that kind of thing. It's like nobody would actually think about that in that kind of scenario. They just threw it in for angst and for drama.
Yeah. See, now that's an example of doing it wrong. Whereas it sounds like, at least with Goblin Slayer, it was making a point.
Yeah, with Goblin Slayer, the whole point was like, because like everyone's like,
oh, it was just fucking dumb.
Exactly. Like the whole purpose of it was like these characters were stupid because like they want you to know like everybody treats goblins like they're not a big deal. Like it's just like they're like mice in a house. Like you just scare them off and they run away. But
no.
But they're super not that. And especially like when you send a pack of like fresh adventurers, like these guys had not gone on any real like adventure up to this point, and they go into this cave totally unprepared, and they get slaughtered.
Yeah, and I tell you what, getting into like a hugely geeky kind of thing, that's literally what the Mines of Phandalin, the first ever 5e D&D game, is all about. You get sent into a goblin cave, and it teaches you, if you go in head first, they're going to destroy you. This is their home. You need to think about this as if it was real life and plan shit out. That's what the first episode of Goblin Slayer was about. It's your level 1s. These are a bunch of weird human killers. Defend yourself properly. Don't just go rushing in.
Exactly. And that's what Goblin Slayer takes his time to explain as he's slaughtering these things. Like, they came in here. Look, this guy has a sword that's so long it hit the wall. It wasn't ready, and they got wrecked. These things are smart. They adapt. They keep going. You can't just come in here and say, "Oh, it's some goblins. I'm just gonna kill them." No.
Yeah, like, and it also shows like, it also goes to show that like Goblin Slayer knows what's up because he's like, no, they're a problem, and nobody's addressing this problem because everybody wants to.
That's a scene that really has me a bit iffy. The bit where he's like, "No, we have to kill the children too."
No, you have to.
Well, I mean, he said why. He's like, they're going to grow up, they're going to want revenge. And they're going to level up.
Okay, do you know what? Like, everybody was losing their shit, and they're like, I can't believe, like, literally, okay, because Ambu asked if we could talk about the community's reaction to Goblin Slayer.
I was about to ask, is it an overreaction, or is it a reasonable reaction?
It's an overreaction as fuck.
Definitely over.
It's the same overreaction. They have this, the anime community has this reaction to one anime every season. Do you remember how Darling in Franxx was the best anime ever, and then the worst anime ever, and then better than Evangelion, and then worse than Evangelion?
I, to this day, still quote Scott. I will always think this was the funniest thing you've ever done, and it was when you tweeted Killmonger going like, "Is this your king?"
Oh yeah.
This ain't no kidding.
Yeah, it was like Killmonger was Darling in the Franxx, and T'Challa was Ava. Is this your community? I was like, yeah.
I'll tell you what makes me really sad about Goblin Slayer, though. Oh, I wish Hayato Genso no Grimgar got that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
god, yeah.
just as dark, and it was so much better. It was so much more
Nobody
beautiful.
spoke about that anime back
No.
it was amazing. It was so good.
It was. The music was so good. The art was so good. The storyline was so perfect. It was Goblin Slayer before Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, because
it took a turn that you weren't expecting, and you were like, "What am I watching here? This is amazing." Yeah, I loved it. It's so sad.
Yeah.
They were evil Grimgar. So why is this?
What's that show? What's the show?
Hayato Genso no Grimgar. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash.
Yeah, Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. I think it's on Crunchyroll. I'm not sure. I watched it on Funimation. So
Grimgar.
Rip the Funimation Crunchyroll relationship.
Goodbye, Funimation and Crunchyroll. I don't know how this is going to affect me in the UK. Like, I'm a bit kind of like, how am I going to watch all the anime?
It's like Funimation isn't my best friend anymore. Well up, Ferb.
Well, yeah.
I think if we go back to Goblin Slayer for a second, one of the complaints in the community I saw, which was that those adventurers, right? We didn't really get to see who they were, and maybe we would have had a better reaction if it had taken the proper adaptation from the manga, which kind of showed their life and whatever. So like, you kind of got a little bit of backstory into those adventurers, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of complaints about the fact that they didn't adapt that. Now there's a weird issue with Goblin Slayer in the sense that it's got an anime, it's got a light novel, and it's got a manga, and both the light novel and the manga are very different from each other. The light novel is actually far more graphic and honestly very disturbing. The light novel is like it's almost worse reading it than it is seeing it, So I think it's adapting. Is it adapting the light novel? I can't remember.
It's adapting the manga.
Well, yeah. So basically they're two different things, although the same, but a bit different.
I'll tell you what. That's very interesting to me, because if they had, like, we saw a tiny bit of the dude's backstory. We saw him chasing off goblins when he was younger. If we had a backstory for the girls, that would have been disturbing.
Yeah, it made me feel
not
more
have a good end. Yeah, I don't want to see that. Just straight up, I don't want to know their story and then see that kind of shit happen to them.
So that could have been even more brutal. And that was one of the complaints, was like, if we'd got the manga bit when they like talked about who they were and had a little bit of a backstory, then maybe it would have been a better first episode, or it would have maybe would have been more impactful in the sense it would have felt like it came out of, not that it came out of nowhere, because I guess it kind of did, and it would anyway, but it would have felt more emotional. You would have got more from it. But then again, you've only got 24 minutes, so
that's
the problem. I wish more shows like did the kind of thing that Re:Zero and certain other shows do, where it's like, if we have to give a big impact, let's go for 30 minutes, or let's go for a double episode then.
I think if they did, like, fine. If they did a double episode, then sure. Re:Zero had like a big fan base when it aired. Like, people were already all about it.
It kind of blew the anime community's minds. Like, not many people had actually come from the light novel and got ready for it.
Apparently, most people in the anime community had never seen the movie Groundhog Day.
With Re:Zero, it was kind of like Tokyo Ghoul. It's kind of like, after the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, then everybody started saying, the manga, where I think the only people that I know that was even talking about Tokyo Ghoul was Sun. And
that's the only reason I knew what it was.
That's about it.
Yeah. And then I read the manga and I was like, oh.
So I gather that the moral of the story is that the anime community loves to overreact.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
But that's the thing, because the overreaction was so abundant and people wanted to complain that when like legitimate arguments came up that like, well, they didn't have time, or like, well, they're goblins. Like the argument to them, like literally everyone's like, they're goblins though. And the actual argument, I'm not going to name any names, but you know who it is.
He's talking about Digibro, guys.
No, not Digibro. No, that's a whole other can of worms. No, no, it was we'll call him Smef. Smef in Papa's attic.
Oh, okay.
Smef in Papa's attic. he had a comment basically where he accused them of being like Goblin Slayer of being like socialists and like Nazis.
What?
Yeah, like he said that it was like Nazi, like that Goblin Slayer was like Nazi behavior. And I was like,
okay, no, that makes no fucking sense. I've seen people rightly like talking about it like America invading Vietnam, but fucking Nazis have nothing to do with
they were like because he was eradicating all of them without like because he was killing them all. You see, because they were goblins.
Oh, like no other country has ever raided another country.
Well, and also because okay, that killed me on two fronts. Because no other anime character has ever just gone out of their way to kill one specific group of people, right? Fucking Hokuto Shinken, like, where he literally kills a bunch of road warriors for no other reason than they're in his way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, characters do that all the time. That is, like, that's like saying, I don't know, like, well, how dare the Survey Corps kill the Titans? There's people inside there.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Yeah. Fucking whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like the idea of like, how dare you kill the Titans? You just don't understand them. Like, no, I do. They're going to kill me. They're bad. They're all bad.
Oh, I'm gonna stop.
But that's my point. Like, it's dumb. Like that argument was so stupid, and I legitimately saw him making that point, and all I could think of was the scene from *Inglourious Bastards*. Because I was like, no. Goblin Slayer is not a Nazi like Smef and Papa's Attic will have you believe. No. Goblin Slayer is Brad Pitt in *Inglourious Bastards*.
Oh, we're doing one thing and one thing only?
Yeah, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing goblins. Goblins ain't got no humanity.
And if you're worried about...
Oh, you go, Scott, you go.
I would say, if you're worried about Goblin Slayer overall, episode 2 and 3 are much better as far as more along the lines of what people are looking for in the series, like when the party gets together and things like that. So it gets better.
Episode 3 was boring as fuck.
But episode 3 gave people probably what they were looking for, though. I think
episode 2 is
found me. So you're telling me that episode 3 found me a girlfriend?
Yeah, it was like Tony. It ended. It was really bizarre.
It's gonna give me what I'm looking for, right?
It depends.
It was really weird. It just ended with like directly. Goblin Slayer was like, "I found you a girlfriend, Tony."
And she's a goblin.
Reveal, and then he stabs her. I'm kidding. There's no girl goblins. I'm just kidding.
Well, there goes my love life.
The only legitimate argument against Goblin Slayer that I could see, the only one I agreed with, was that Crunchyroll should have put up a warning before people watched it. That's the only, and I do.
But I have a question. I do have a question on that. That's a good point, Isla. Do they need a warning?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily say they need a warning, but what they definitely need, they listed it as a fucking rated for 12 show.
Yeah.
So they literally said this show is produced for people over the age of 12, and then it started with fucking gruesome murders and a rape.
Okay, no. Okay, I guess I need more context. I didn't know that they were trying to appeal to teenagers. Then definitely a warning. So I thought it was like clear that it was for adults. But no, now I got some context, so thank you.
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell I legit had, like, and again, keep in mind, I'm not one of the people who was like, how dare they, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just, like, I watched it, straight up had a panic attack. Like, I got anxiety off of how friggin' hardcore it was. Yeah, and then at the end was... and then at the end I was like, wow, that was dope. Like, I can't believe they went that dark. Like...
I'm having a panic attack.
I literally had to go calm down. I was like, holy shit. Like, and it comes off, and I think in my animated on it, because I'm genuinely like, like just out of...
So you felt the way that I felt watching End of Evangelion?
Yes. What is happening?
I literally sat in my room for 2 hours after watching that movie in silence.
I spent 2 hours after watching that movie in rage. Like, why did I waste my time? Or let's move on.
my favorite anime.
That's the next JoJo. That's the next episode. Let's shit on Evangelion.
Guys, I can't be part of that. I would need to be the angel on that side of like let's talk about all the good things about Evangelion.
Wait. You sure you want to be called the angel for that one?
That episode will be called "You Can," and then in brackets, "not podcast."
Do it.
Great.
Evangelion movie, all the rebirths of kind of hell. Like, not the first one was really good, and then like they're not that great as you kind of go forward. But hopefully, the final Evangelion rebuild movie will be good.
When am I gonna get that? I've been waiting
like 2 more years.
Yeah. They said
the third one was so disappointing.
I know. It's been so long.
All those years, and then all of a sudden we don't see what happens afterwards. It takes place years afterwards, and so much has happened. Makoto, or what's her name? Masato has an eye patch now. What the hell happened to her face?
Maybe we'll find out.
They ruined the character that actually made me interested in the Evangelion series again. I forgot her name now. The new girl with the glasses. Girl with the glasses. I forgot her name. Someone in the comments, tell me what her name is.
That's if they can hear you.
Oh no.
Because I've seen that comment a couple times, like, I can't hear Tony. And I'm like, I hear Tony.
I think my favorite comment was somebody said Tony sounds like one of the adults out of the Peanuts gallery.
I heard somebody say that I sounded like I was underwater. And I said, I'm gonna see.
Didn't you know Tony's the fish man from The Shape of Water? Just deal with it, guys. Deal with it.
Oh, so that's why I can't find love. I have to find a deaf mute girl. That's how I get it.
See, you've been living life wrong, man.
Yeah, see?
I'm trying to think if there's any other... What haven't we talked about yet?
Buddy Senpai, but you can ask the chat. You can just ask the chat if you want.
I feel like Isla wants to talk about Bunny Girl Senpai.
I love Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah,
also, I don't know if anyone's watching it this season because I haven't seen anyone talk about it. But Irozoku, the World in Colors, is a beautiful anime, and I feel like no one's talking about it.
I still gotta watch it.
So beautiful. It's like PA Works at not at their best because PA Works have done some amazing stuff, but it's just a lovely world, and it's totally my kind of anime because it's magic in a real world setting. So we've got this normal world, and then everyone there's magic kind of exists in it, and everyone accepts it, but it just feels like it could exist here, and I love stuff like that. So yeah, I really like it, and it's about a girl who can't see color. So she travels back. Her grandmother travels her back in time to when her grandmother was like a teenager, and so she's in her grandmother's era, and it's to help her to see color again. So we need to figure out how she's going to do that, which we already know how that's going to happen anyway because you see that in the first episode. Not to spoil, but it's really good. It's pretty. She doesn't she sees color for like a second, but she's it's just beautiful. It's really nice. It's got lovely animation. And I think that it looks like it'll be a really good one for this season, and no one's talking about it.
It seems like a silent voice for the magic.
Yes. I was going to say, I think maybe it's because of how the poster looks kind of generic to me. Maybe that's why.
It's also on Amazon, so that's probably why too.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
It's like welcome to the ballroom all those years ago.
Crunchyroll.
And this is going to really tell people how I watch this specific show, but is Banana Fish on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
JoJo, you goddamn illegal person.
I know. I was like, if they say yes, this is gonna put me in a bad spot. If they say yes.
I'm not gonna burn you, JoJo. I feel your pain, brother.
Then
I feel your pain.
Okay, then to my knowledge, Banana Fish is the only show to survive the Amazon culling.
Yeah, and do you know what's really sad? We're now derailing, but next season in the winter we're gonna get oh my god, come on! You know what I'm gonna say, Scott? Scott is now gone out of my head. The manga, that really great manga that you and I talk about, that's now gone out of my head.
Promise Neverland.
Thank you. My god, don't know where that went. Yeah, The Promised Neverland. That's going to be an Amazon show.
Yep.
Man.
Yep, it's going to be an anime.
Okay, that's probably another one that's going to survive the transition pretty well because the fan base is so huge for that already.
Yeah. Exactly.
I read the first.
I've never heard of it.
It's awesome. Okay, I read the first volume because I never thought I was waiting. It took too long, and I had to hear about it. And if there's hype around a manga but there's no anime out yet, I'll read the first volume and then just wait, like just so I can understand what the hype's about.
Yeah.
And Promised Neverland is dope.
Promised Neverland is amazing, and it's short because now, as of maybe a month or two ago, the manga says going into its final arc. So
that's crazy.
Promised Neverland.
They already have an ending in mind if they're already saying this is a final arc.
That's so crazy to me. Like I can't believe they were like, nope, this to this. I'm so used to like manga getting stretched.
Yeah.
Bleach.
Bleach, man. That final arc in Bleach was like 4 years.
Let's see. Promised Neverland.
I'm trying to see what chat wants us to talk about.
Wait, we have to talk about Bunny Senpai. Come on.
Girl Senpai. Okay.
I have been waiting all this time to talk about it.
Okay, so everybody shut up now, and we're going to let Isla talk about Bunny Girl Senpai.
Everybody shut up! I have an erection!
Okay, me and you are the only ones who got that.
I'm glad that people laughed at that so hard.
Over here on the left side.
Okay, I was like, as soon as I heard the words everybody, I was like, cool. I think maybe me and you are the only ones who are going to know what that's from.
That's why I loved it. They laughed so hard, so they clearly don't know about Ninja Sex Party. It's just like, what did he just say? Yeah, that's a song, guys. Anyway, Isla.
Go ahead.
So, Session Botayari wa Bunny Girl Senpai no Yumi wo Minai as the most underrated, like not underrated, but what I'm trying to say, it's like it's got the worst title, it's got the worst description you've like ever read. The description makes no sense either, like the one that's on Live Chat or something, and the title just is bizarre. It's also not translated correctly, but that's another story. It's the weirdest looking and described anime, yet it's got one of the best dialogues I've ever watched in anime. Like the chemistry between our two lead characters back and forth is just lovely to watch, so much so that the episodes just go on by and suddenly it's been 24 minutes and that the episode's over and I'm really sad because I wanted to see more of it. It's just well done, it's well animated, it's well written, and even though the very end of like episode 3, like it's like it's got a really kind of consolidated arc in the first like 3 episodes, so when episode 3 ends, a little bit cringy, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it, and I just loved, like, if you're going to talk about a good arc in anime, those 3 episodes are like a really solid way to start an anime, in my opinion. Anyway, I love it. I love it so much. I love the 2 characters. I love Mai. I think she's an amazing character. I love Sakuta. I just think it's great. It's one of the best animes I've seen probably this year for the first 3 episodes. So we'll see what happens with the rest of it. If it becomes
wait a minute. Is this series basically Love to Livio and Other Delusions?
No.
Nah.
Because it says like she suffers from adolescent syndrome, and it's described as a supernatural anime. Sort
See,
of.
and that's what Ayla was saying. It's like that's why I almost didn't watch it.
And not only that, when I looked it up, what's it called? Love to Livio and Other Delusions was in the recommended spot of it. So
is
it?
No, I'd say every time I post about it, the instant comment I get, like without fail. And by the way, thanks for commenting the same thing every episode. But I love
That's how much they love you. That's how much they love you.
Exactly.
They don't comment on any of my videos. So
thank you, but you're driving me mental. Anyway, is like, have you seen the Monogatari series?
Because it's just like the Monogatari.
Oh no!
Exactly. I hear it all the time. Yeah,
I'm not watching Bunny Senpai anymore.
No, it's good. No, it's good, I promise.
Tony, people also say it's like Orege Iru, so you're probably not going to be a massive fan.
This is true.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember the backlash I got for my opinion on the Monogatari series, so.
I don't actually remember the backlash. I remember there being
the
something.
Backlash. That was fun.
I remember like some kind of way.
Son remembers the backlash. He's a fan of the Monogatari series, so So
Tom is like, mega
I like
fan.
the only thing I've seen from the series is the Kizu films, and I like those.
Monogatari is a bit difficult to get into because there's so many Monogataris. There's like a million different ways. Like the Fate series, right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like Fate, but
Like,
yeah, but good. Fate's good though.
You know a series is good if you have to look up a chart to understand which series you have to watch first.
Gundam.
Actually, the first series is actually the fourth in the timeline.
That's literally me trying to get into Gundam. I'm like, I don't understand.
I can
Well,
show
Gundam's
you
even worse because they're like, oh no, but there are multiple different timelines for Gundam. It's like,
I can show you the way for Gundam. I'll let you know.
Show me the way, Scott. I do not know.
This is actually the first series that precedes the 1979 series, which came after the 1978 series, which came back after 1997.
This is why I don't know the way. I don't understand.
I can break down which Gundams you need to watch, and it'll only be like 4 or 5. You'll be good.
Okay, cool.
Well, you know, Scott, I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid, okay?
Yes, that's what I've been looking for.
That there's a Gundam that's... I don't remember who said it, but there's a Gundam that people are like, you'll like it, because you're basically a Fujoshi, so it's this one.
Oh, Iron-Blooded Orphans.
No, not Iron-Blooded.
No, not Iron-Blooded Orphans.
You are not a Fujoshi. Don't even lie.
Double O or Seed or one of them.
Seed.
Seed, yeah, I don't know. One of them. They're like, it's slightly more gay. So I was like, dope. I want to watch that.
Oh yeah, Seed is gay as fuck.
Yeah,
but I mean,
okay.
It looks gay as fuck.
It's like Seed's gay as fuck. Yeah, it's gay.
No, it was weird because when you were like, "Oh, they want me to watch this because I'm a Fudanshi," I was like, "Iron-Blooded Orphans has a lot of men in it and not a lot of women." Seed is one of the ones where it's like the main couple is a man and a woman, but yeah, no, that's still the gayest Gundam.
Yeah. Anyway, Bunny Girl Senpai. Yeah. I adored those first 3 episodes. And I don't care what anyone says about the cheesy ending of the 3rd episode. I thought it was great. I was in tears, but then again, I cry at everything. I literally cry when...
I like cheesy.
So well written. It just feels refreshing. It feels like a refreshing anime to watch because it just feels like the 2 characters and the conversations and the way things flow. It just feels natural in a weird sense. But even though going into it by looking at synopsis, you'd be like, I have no idea what I'm actually going to be watching here. Like,
that's what happened with Banana Fish too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
Big time.
Banana Fish had a lot of controversy. Do you remember they used the F word and stuff like that at the beginning of the first episodes and stuff, and that got people really angry.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. I didn't know how to feel about.
We still talking about Bunny Senpai, or are we talking about Banana Fish?
Yeah, Banana Fish dropped like I'm nervous to say it. They dropped some F-bombs. Yeah. Well, I have a weird...
Are we talking about the other F-bomb?
Not fuck.
Oh, so yeah, I was thinking it rhymes with maggot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a weird history with that word. Like, so to me, I was kind of uncomfortable seeing it. I was like,
I don't blame you.
Yeah. No. But then I think Amazon got the hint. And they're like, we'll just say like asshole instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Either way, like Bunny Girl Senpai is a good show. I feel like it deserves its praise that it's getting, and I feel like the surprise that people have got from it is lovely as well. Like, because it took me by surprise. I thought I'd watch one episode and be like, right, well, just write some notes down about that for my video. That's great. Okay, we're done. But now I'm just very excited for every episode.
I'm still excited. I am.
I did like four. But
I didn't. And like it's not so much like, okay, there's a misconception that like if I give something a thumbs down, I think it's terrible. And I don't. It just means like I didn't necessarily think it was good. Like I was like, okay. Like it was just sort of okay. And okay in my books is a thumbs down because it didn't leave me feeling any kind of way. Like it left me feeling the same way I went in.
So it's the difference between The Hobbit 2 and The Hobbit 3.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
You mean how the Hobbit
on its own?
The Hobbit trilogy sucks?
No, the first one.
As a total, The Hobbit trilogy sucks.
No.
As a total, it does, JoJo.
It's
Come on.
fine.
Like, the first one's okay.
Who's the main
The
character,
third one's
JoJo? Tell me
pretty
right
far.
now. Who's the main character of that story?
Okay.
Gandalf.
That's true.
Fun fact about it. No. Yeah, okay. Fun fact about that is Martin Freeman would often say, like, but we can never forget that it's called The fucking Hobbit. Like, literally. He was just like, it's really weird.
If he has to remind you that it's called The Hobbit, there's a problem.
It's
Legolas got more shine than he did.
so weird. Like, I just wanted to see Bilbo.
I only recently found out they filmed like the entire everything with Legolas and everything extra with Gandalf. They did in the final 6 months.
Yeah,
and there were no plans to do that until the final 6 months. It's insane.
Okay, long ago.
Torio wasn't even going to be in the whole fucking movie.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, I'm gonna say something really quick, and then I want to touch back on Bunny Girl really quickly.
Hey, I want to touch a Bunny Girl too.
Lol.
Keep your filthy hands away from my Bunny Girls.
Okay. I don't think the Hobbit trilogy is all bad. I think the first one's pretty fun. The second one's just sort of there, and the third one's kind of a mess. But there's things in it that I like. But like the rest of it.
Before we move on, do you realize why it descends in that order? Because the first one actually focused on the Hobbit.
Yes, but we're not talking about it right now. We'll save it.
Okay, so back to Bunny Girl Senpai. I like what Mitro just said because it's true facts. This author does tend to always take tropes and then turn them on their head. So Bunny Girl Senpai should get better as it goes on.
And I love it when people take tropes and turn them on their head because tropes are sometimes so overdone and you're just so used to seeing things. So it's nice when they feel different.
Yeah.
Or
exploited.
Like Zombie Girl Saga.
Like Zombieland Saga. Yeah, you're right.
Like Zombieland Saga. Like Zombieland Saga.
I also like Zombieland Saga. That's
takes a trope, turns it on his head. We get something different. I like stuff like that.
We also get the best boy of the season.
Synopsis.
Yes.
Because at first we didn't know what it was because they didn't have one. And then when they did put one out, it made it seem like it was going to be like a post-apocalyptic zombie survival show. And then we got what it turned to.
They were genius with that because they did that kind of thing with Gakko Garashi as well, where the whole synopsis was like, they made it sound like it was just going to be a slice of life. And then the end of that first episode was like, oh my God.
That's okay. Okay. Fun fact about that show. Legitimately, that's still one of my favorite shows ever. I think that show's so clever. I love that show so much. I adore that show. I like zombies. I don't know if we've ever addressed that.
But did you watch Is This a Zombie?
Yes.
Now that is a good anime.
I just like, yes, silence. Okay, moving on. No, but the one thing I want to say about Bunny Girl is because I did get not heat because I think everybody kind of understood where I was coming from, which I was like, phew. Because the last thing I want is everyone to be like, you suck. Actually, your show is terrible. I'm just waiting for everyone to realize, like, wait a minute-long content. This sucks.
Yeah,
that's what everyone wants. People get bored after a minute.
If I want real content, I find a YouTuber that talks about anime in under 5 minutes.
Oh, shots fired.
I understood.
Shots fired, man.
I understood that reference.
He's trying to break apart the Gitatsu 2.0.
It's not the Gitatsu 2.0. The Gitatsu 2.0 existed.
Right?
You know I'm a big Captain America fan. I saw what you did there.
I understood that. Anyway, yeah, my only thought about it was I was annoyed because everyone was like, yeah, but you know they're going to get back together and it doesn't affect anything. I know, but I hate that misunderstanding trope. I think it's dumb. I understand that they're going to do something with it later, and it's going to be actually interesting. I think I know where they're going with it, but it annoyed me in that episode.
You know what's dumb, JoJo?
That's the problem.
Anime reviews in a minute. No, I'm kidding. Isla, go ahead.
That's the problem with seasonal anime, though. Like this is always the issue with seasonal stuff, is that we have to wait week by week. So when something happens in like episode 3, 4, whatever, you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And like, I really didn't like that. But then if you were watching it as normal, as like a binge watch or like an episode after episode. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem with with watching stuff seasonally. It can kind of hinder shows a little bit.
Yeah, like I almost want to make a video like addressing like why that's irritating, like because I mean like the whole anime thing like hinges on seasonal anime. So it's like
for certain shows it works so much better, like Darling in the Franxx, where there were little bits of information coming out each week, and it was like, oh, this happened, it's so cool, and then the next week something different may happen or may change your perception of it. Yeah, but yeah, for certain shows, the episodic thing just doesn't work. It's always like, just give me more.
That's the thing, right? Totally. Like, because, like, but I think that's interesting. Like, I like, it's why I keep doing it, because I like the idea of like, it's a TV show. So the pitfall to being a TV show is you should be able to tell a story and have it make sense within that episode, but still have it make sense within a greater scope. And that's really difficult to pull off, especially when the show itself is like, no, we're telling a story that stretch over a couple of episodes, not just like a single story.
That's up.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And I mean, like, Animinute probably would work better with like Monster of the Week shows, like Gridman, I suppose. Bringing it all back. Bringing it back.
Right. JoJo, make sure go find Power Rangers.
Go find Power Rangers.
But I like
Power Rangers there in Japan.
Is Power Rangers?
Everybody liked Animinute.
What?
I like Animinute.
Everybody likes Animinute.
No, everybody loves Kung Fu Fighting Crew. You got it mixed up again.
Those fists were fast as lightning.
I thought it was Everybody Loves Raymond.
No, everybody hates Chris.
Mitro points out something in the comments that about Bunny Girl Senpai that's true that people should probably know, is the fact that they're going to only adapt up to volume 5 for the series, and then it's going to probably end on some kind of cliffhanger. But volume 6 and 7 will be adapted as a movie, so we'll need to wait.
So that's why it said anime film. Okay.
It's going to be just like Origa Iru, where we never get the best bits.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, look, Bunny Girl Senpai is probably, I mean, I don't know, I'd have to think about it, but it's probably my, like, because every season I don't think it's fair to be like when I'm picking a show of the season, I kind of separate it between like a show that's a second season versus like a first season show. Right. Because it's a little unfair to the first season show, because I'm clearly more attached to like whatever second or third season show I'm watching. But I think Bunny Girls might
prejudice.
I think Bunny Girl Senpai might actually be my like top like first season show.
I think it's mine as well.
Maybe Goblin Slayer. I haven't quite decided yet. I really like Goblin Slayer.
I love Goblin Slayer.
Me too.
I also really like Goblin Slayer, but I do think Bunny Girl Senpai for me is like my show of the season at the moment. But we'll see, because I think Fall's pretty strong. There's some stuff I really like. Like I really like Before I Leave. I really like Gridman, and I'm watching Sword Art Online even though I didn't see season 2. So some things don't make any sense.
Oh, you did that the correct way.
No.
Yeah, fuck season 2.
No. Okay, first of all, how dare you? Second of all,
don't you mean fuck SAO?
No, I don't. Okay, here's what you do. Okay, anybody watching who hasn't ever seen SAO, actually, I'm gonna pull a Papa's Attic, and I am going to. So you want to watch SAO, but you don't actually want to watch it. Here's what you do. This is where I get in trouble with the SAO community. No. Okay, this is what I realistically, if you want to get into a show, you know how you get into it. Yeah, watch it. But if you don't want to do that, you kind of. Here's the thing, though. Like originally, when this show was coming out, me and Sun were saying, like, you really like. There's parts of season 2 that I'm assuming you're not going to need, except if you watch the opening for the season, every single arc has a character in it in the OP, except for Mothers of Rosario.
Well, we know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Rip best girl. Anyway, but like, to the point where the fucking movie is in the OP. That blew my mind. I can't even remember that girl's name. The Ordinal Scale movie is like,
I don't even remember.
I can't remember her name.
Really like the Ordinal Scale OP though. Lisa, great. She's just great.
Lisa's just great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
She's tied to SAOs, like her and her and.
It's like a Union Square Garden are tied to like production IG stuff. Like production IG shows just have Union Square Garden songs, and like
so
it's like Utada Hikaru and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now
like Lisa and Ioi, they're just tied to SAO now.
Yeah,
you're gonna get them on every opening or ending.
You know what really annoyed me about the season 2 opening?
What's that?
It spoiled who the fucking bad guy was. It had like that big long flash of the bad guy, and then it had the kid that controls him right after.
He did.
I remember being in like episode 4 and seeing that kid for the first time and seeing him being a little geek in love with Shinon, and I was like, oh, okay, he's the bad guy. I get it now. Thanks.
And then he tries to kill her. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah,
remember that part.
That's another thing. People don't talk about how dark that was. He tried to break into her house and murder her while she was in a virtual world. He was talking about how he was going to play with her body as well, so that was probably going to involve.
They hit that he was going to sexually assault her too.
Yeah,
yeah, but these goblins got everybody triggered when they.
But what is goblins?
Talk about Sword Art. Just want to talk about Sword Art 3.
The first episode was 47 minutes long. What a surprise! I was not expecting
to
watch Sword Art Online for 47 minutes.
You guys want to bitch about Goblin Slayer? Hell, just watch an episode of Diabolic Lovers, and then you can talk to me about sexually assaulting people. Okay? I don't want to hear it.
It's okay though. That was fun sexual assault. That was enjoyed sexual assault.
Oh yeah, because she definitely seemed like she was enjoing that. Yeah, she didn't say no.
Okay, no more.
But yes, 47-minute episode was fucking amazing.
Yes, they had a double length episode. I was shocked. I also thought Asuna looked really dope in her Gun Gale Online outfit.
Great.
It made me feel some kind of way.
I really wish we can get
my penis agrees with you.
I feel like Asuna is my reason for Sword Art Online. You know,
she's the best part of Sword Art Online.
She is the best part of Sword Art Online.
Lisa is my reason for liking Sword Art Online.
Yeah, but you can just listen to them separately.
Yeah, you don't have to watch Sword Art Online to listen to Lisa.
Yeah,
but you know, it's Lisa, guys. Lisa.
Well, like, here's the thing. I don't know. Has everybody, or not everybody, but Isla, I'm assuming did you keep watching or no?
I mean, I watched the first episode, so I've not kept watching after. But that's I don't mind being spoiled.
Okay. Fair warning. Spoilers for the first couple of episodes. There's an episode that came out today. I haven't seen it yet.
Goodbye.
You say goodbye. Okay. There's an episode that came out today. I haven't seen it yet. I've been playing Red Dead. The only thing I did today was Goblin Slayer in this. But the thing that I really, really like about this season so far is it doesn't use the world seed. So Kirito isn't OP. He's a guy. He's just a guy. And I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like he still has his kendo skills. He's still pretty good with a sword because of his experiences through SAO and Gun Gale and all that. But he's just a guy. And I really appreciated that.
So he's not a beater anymore?
No, he is a swordsman. Like they do classify him as like he is a swordsman. Because in that I don't there is some things that I don't want to spoil because it's interesting. And of course everyone's like, yeah, but like that's not how science works. Shut the fuck up, it's an anime.
It's an
animation.
Like
it's an anime, dude. You look at the logic.
Yeah, exactly. Because the idea is like the game.
They basically did a server data wipe, so everyone's back to level 1, and they're all at basic level.
Yeah, like well, it's not just that too. It's like the system itself is cool. Like, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Basically, when you put on when you go into the to Underworld, which is the game that they're in, game quote unquote. It's you could be in like our world for an hour, but in game you're in there for like a couple years. Like it's a lot. Like you're in there's a time difference between in game and out of game, and the way they explain that is like, kind of like it's just the easiest way to explain it. And they try to explain it with like pseudoscience because they understand like it's still a piece of technology. They kind of have to like technobabble their way out of it. So they're like, blah, 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 this cool. I was like, cool, fine, whatever. And then Papa's attic and all his merry band of boys were like, no, but that's not how science works. I'm like, I couldn't possibly care less. I don't think
that a gay ad in the episode?
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Season 1 and 2 literally had a VR game that tapped you into the world through your brain somehow. That isn't how science works.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't care.
JoJo, can we please make a parody account called Papa's Attic?
Make an account called Papa's Attic that just takes the piss out of every video Mother's Basement does.
Can I get some Papa's Attic emotes in the chat, please?
Papa's Attic, please.
By the way, I'm sure he's a good dude. It's just, I don't know why. He's just always on my radar.
I will never forgive him for spoiling fucking... What's it called? Attack on Titan for me way, way, way long ago.
Did he really?
He literally talked about the manga while the anime was still on season 1. He started talking about shifters and just assumed that people would know about it.
No.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Lucy says, Flucklights? Flucklights.
Flucklights.
It always sounds like fucklights to me. I feel weird every time they say it. Flucklights.
We're gonna do it, guys. Papa's like this video if you want to see Papa's Attic starring Isla as Papa's Attic.
I feel
Why
like
would you force Isla into it? Like we would
when they hear Papa's Attic, they think they're gonna hear a guy, but it's a girl. Just like if you listen to Bonus Basement, you're like, oh, is it a woman? No, it's a guy. See, it's called.
I don't know. I've got a pretty deep voice. I have a pretty deep voice, you know, dulcet tones and all that.
But make sure
you can do it.
That you use the promo code Attic when you get 10% off your Bookwalker stuff. I'm so sorry.
All right, back to anime now.
Back to anime now. I think we pretty much hit on everything except for with one significant exception. Can anyone guess what it is?
Karakiri Circus.
Oh my God! I know what it is. Guys, I know what it is. He's talking about school days. So we're gonna talk about school days now.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure he's talking about Honda-san.
No.
Honda-san.
See, chat knows what's good.
Golden Kamuy. No?
No!
Oh, JoJo. I forgot JoJo was there.
Papa Dingo's Attic.
It's so good!
I legitimately forgot JoJo was airing.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's because JoJo talks too much.
I do. And so does Giorno. So it works out fine. Yeah.
Do we know who Giorno's parents are yet?
Yes. That was
okay, thank God.
That was within the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Episode 1 basically hints at it, and then episode 2 is like, no, it's exactly who you think it is.
And you really know by episode 4.
I hope and pray. I know it would never happen, but I really hope there's just a line where it's like, you thought it was like Bucaletti, but no, it was me, Giorno. Like, I want that scene. Kono Giorno da. I really want that.
I would love that. That would be great. They need to have some throwbacks.
Yeah.
At some point he needs to like hit his head or something and do like a
like no, they do muda muda muda. Like that's instead of saying instead of doing like an ora barrage, she straight up does like the Dio like muda 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 muda. It's really great. It's so good. And the stands are insane.
Oh, it's only gonna get better.
Oh, I'm so
you guys are fucking nerds.
Yeah. Also evil with that 5 Pound? Donation? Money.
That's a euro, JoJo.
I don't know. I'm Canadian.
Oh my god, he fell for it. Yes.
Oh. That's not a euro, JoJo. That's a pound.
I don't know.
Right. You were right, JoJo. It's a pound.
JoJo, how the hell do I know that? I live in fucking Guam.
I live in Canada. Everything is looties and tooties.
I'm the silly American here. Like, I'm the silly American here. Like, wait a minute.
It's pounds, guys. It's
pounds. I was about to say, I bet you Ira and the crew were just laughing their asses off.
But I don't know whether it's the English pound or the Scottish pound, because we've got different notes, you know? We can't use Scottish money in England. Did you know that? Do you know that?
Really? I did not know
that.
Oh, wow.
That's weird.
It's sad. It's very sad. You go to England, you go to London, you try and pay with a fiver, and they're like, nope, can't accept that. Sad times.
Really?
We have weird plastic fivers now in England.
Yeah, we do.
Strange.
Weird plastic ones and weird, same with tenors as well.
Well, I think we all can agree it's time for secession.
They tried to do that. They didn't vote for it, unfortunately.
Wait, did they really call? I didn't even look at the. Okay, so for those who don't know, in JoJo's, Crunchyroll can't legally call the stand names what the stand names are.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
because of copyrights.
Disney pointed that out.
Yeah, so
because of copyrights and a lot of them, all of them based off music. So.
Yeah, so like Black Sabbath is the stand that Giorno fought in like the previous episode.
Right, and Golden Wind is Gold Experience.
Yeah,
Zipper Man is Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, that was
wait, the rapper Sticky Fingers?
Yes, the rapper Sticky
Fingers. Wait, people still remember Sticky Fingers?
Right.
No.
Shit, I don't even remember Sticky Fingers.
Do you know what the ED for this show is?
Sticky Fingers?
No.
Well,
I mean,
how you look at it.
Well, it should have been Gangsta's Paradise.
No, it should have been One More Time from Daft Punk.
No, One More Time's too fresh. Too fresh.
It's in the time period that it takes place.
I looked to live for my life and realized there's nothing left.
No, One More Time was released in the year that Part 5 takes place in, and it's one more JoJo's part.
Okay, but here's the real question, though, JoJo. Have they been spending most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise?
I mean, yes, technically they have. It is about.
I just hate that fucking song.
It is about gangstars, if you will.
So it is about the power and the money and the power.
But unfortunately, what we got for the ED is freaking you.
Freaking you.
By Jodeci.
I think about freaking.
Oh my god, that's perfect!
No, it's not!
No, it's really is.
Good night, baby! I wanna get free.
No, not that.
Oh, now that
you see, that would have been much better.
Oh, they didn't do that one? Okay, now I'm upset.
No.
I thought they were doing that one.
No, freaking you.
Freaking you, yeah.
That's one of the weakest songs.
Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny, freaking you.
Whoa, man. Little kids are watching the show. Watch your fucking mouth.
I would hope not.
You watch your fucking mouth, okay?
I have
Little kids are watching this show. They're trying now to watch Goblin Slayer.
I have gotten a comment from somebody who will remain anonymous because, like, I appreciate them watching my videos and they've been watching my videos for a long time. But I did get a comment from somebody on a Banana Fish video saying, blah, 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 my 13-year-old mind was not ready. And I was like, yo.
Then why are you watching this series?
Wait. Here's what's gonna kill you. I had a subscriber meetup last year. A 12-year-old British kid walks up to me. He's like, "Are you the Black Critic guy?" I'm like, "Well, yes." Yeah, I watched your Akisaro review. What?
Oh no.
Tony, why are you exposing me like this?
Why? Yeah, and that boy was cool.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to keep it anonymous, guys. Jeez.
Everybody knows I'm the only British guy in the anime community.
I whispered in Kuzia. I was just like, "Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you. And then the cops came and arrested me.
Okay, I just realized how long this podcast. We're almost rounding up to the 2-hour mark.
By the way, can I just apologize to Isla because I think she thinks we're all weird now.
I don't ever think you guys are weird.
She's like, these fucking guys invited me to talk about anime, and they talk about like other shit that I don't care about.
Isla was on Rant Cafe. I think she can deal with anything.
Yeah.
Wait, you're on Red Cafe?
I think for an episode, was it a Kotatsu episode? I can't remember.
Isla was on a Kotatsu episode.
Yeah,
I thought Isla was on Rant Cafe.
I feel like Isla's like the star of the anime community. She's just everywhere now.
Oh, guys, I love you guys.
But yeah, in future, maybe we should be more like, on point instead of all over the goddamn place.
But it's so much
JoJo,
fun.
It's so much fun.
You need to remember that you created this podcast, so you need to keep it on point.
That's fair.
Good point.
Also,
that's a good point.
I am terrible at leading things. I'm like,
And then you expect us to keep it in check?
you know who I am? I'm like, okay, I am the Green Ranger. I occasionally will lead the team into battle.
Not the Ranger ranks. That's unfair.
But
JoJo, can you at least update this a little bit and say that you're Lance from Voltron? Come on, man. Get with the times.
no,
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
I am that character from that show.
That is so perfect.
I do the thing sometimes. I don't know. I have never seen.
No, wait a minute. No, JoJo was the blue guy that made the snarky comments.
Yeah, who's the blue guy in Voltron?
The blue guy from what? Voltron. That's Lance.
Okay, I was Lance in
Look,
Tony's
Princess
thing.
Allura says it that way too. God damn it.
Look, I was Lance in Tony's Voltron review. That is the extent of my knowledge. We are both in a rowboat. That is the extent of my knowledge.
Ooh, Echo.
I know.
Echo.
Act 3 freeze.
Act 3 freeze. Oh, it didn't happen.
Sorry, my headphones died.
It's okay.
It's fine. Okay.
How do I sound now?
Really good.
Yeah.
Damn
What
it!
the fuck did you do that 2 hours ago?
It was 2 hours ago.
I was using my headphones.
Oh my god.
Damn it, Tony.
Tony, I could kill you right now.
Although I can't hear
So
an
what
echo.
you're saying is you're gonna goblin slay me?
I am going to.
Oh no, he's not going to goblin slay you. He's going to be the goblin.
Yeah, there is an echo
I
now.
love the echo. I do love the echo. Like we're in a tunnel. We're heading into another world, into an isekai.
I mean, if you really want the echo back, I can bring it back.
No, it's
No, we
back.
got it
It's
now.
here currently.
Bring it back. Do 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 do. Bring it back.
Sick Rocky reference, bro.
Hey. Creed
Hey.
2 coming next month.
I am so excited. Anyway,
So excited, so excited.
okay.
Hey.
Quick final thoughts on the autumn anime season.
Not as
I
good
love
as
it.
the autumn Donghua season.
We didn't even get to talk
You
about
would say
Donghua.
This ain't a Donghua podcast!
We could talk about Donghua occasionally.
Okay, we'll do that next time.
Okay, next time we'll throw in Donghua too. I don't know what we're doing next time, but we will.
Next
figure it out.
time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my God,
you know what we should
memories.
do?
Memories.
Okay, then that's the next podcast right there. The next podcast
Dragon
we
Ball
do
Z.
is classic like childhood anime.
Oh man, let's go.
That'll be the next one. There you go. But until the next one, quick thoughts on autumn anime.
Hamtaro. Sorry, continue.
Good show.
I think it's great. I think we've got some really good shows
Hamtaro
this
was a
season.
very underrated show, by the way.
Tony, you cut Isla off entirely.
I think it's a great season. I think we've got some really great shows. Also, controversially, Black Clover got really good for some reason at this point. So, if you're still watching Black Clover like me, 54 episodes strong.
I heard that. I heard both Black Clover and fucking Boruto got really good recently.
You guys lost
you just have
all
to stick in.
credibility. I'm unsubscribing today.
No.
Nux. Okay, by the way, Nux Taku, my boy Nux, was talking about how he wants to get back into Black Clover, and the whole time I'm like, Isla's been watching Black Clover.
I started watching Black Clover. I'll
I'll
throw myself out there. It's
okay.
It's not that bad.
Because everybody, like, people started coming back to Black Clover, and then Giguk was like, "It is okay for you to like Black Clover now," and the community went, "Yay!"
Yes, it is okay.
Like everyone's like, "Yay!"
It is not okay to like Black Clover.
It is.
Black Clover, listen, it's not the best shonen ever made. It really isn't. But it is, I mean, for what it is, yeah, for what it is, it's pretty, it gets pretty good, and you end up really liking Asta, and the arc just before this one was pretty great. However, its animation is still choppy and all over the place. Like, whoever animated the latest episode should probably be fired. Like, Asta's face is all out of proportion, and it's really, I can just hear an echo of myself constantly.
I know.
I was surprised how long you managed to keep talking while hearing yourself.
Yeah.
Poor
But
Tony.
yeah, I mean, Black Clover does get better. I don't know if it's worth going back and watching the 55 it takes you to get to the point where it gets good, but I like it. I have mixed relationships. A mixed relationship with Black Clover, but I'm pretty happy that I'm watching it for 50.
So are you sure it got good, or have you just gotten Stockholm syndrome?
See, I can't tell. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm gonna read the manga, and then
right there.
and then I'll jump from the manga to the anime.
Filthy casual.
I mean, there's some scenes when Black Clover does it Sakuga correctly, and it looks amazing. There's some certain points where you're like, oh my god, this is what they could do, and then it just gets bad, and then it gets great, and then it gets bad. But I'm not sure if that's just the same thing that happens with most kind of seasonal shonen anime that just run throughout all the cores. Because I wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is it animated by Toei Animation? Because they have very bad reviews.
Yeah, no, it's animated by Cloverworks.
Cloverworks? I thought it was Clown.
Cloverworks.
Okay.
No, it's Cloverworks. Cloverworks anime, this one.
Well, it could be worse. You could be Tokyo Ghoul.
Well, yeah.
I'm
glad no one's talking about that. Let's not do it.
Okay. Scott, I'm so glad you said that.
So let's talk about Tokyo Ghoul, guys.
I was just going to say, so glad you said, because this season. And I've actually had people say, like, how come you're not watching this season? I'm like, because I don't want to put you through that, and I don't want to put me through that.
Yeah.
Like, I love Tokyo Ghoul. I think it's the ending in the manga is how do I put it nicely? Like, rushed? I don't want to say rushed necessarily, but it feels like some things were sort of Ishida sort of left things in the air, like maybe in the future there'll be like another Tokyo Ghoul, but like not really, because it's also wrapped up. It's just certain characters didn't get quite fleshed out, but it's still like a brilliant story. It makes me laugh, makes me cry, but it's also a shitty anime because they just steamroll through all the important bits so that they can get to like the cool action.
The first season was decent.
First season's pretty good.
It was.
I would dare say it's a thumbs up.
You guys know I don't like Tokyo Ghoul though, so you know.
Really, I did not know that. Oh.
I don't know. I couldn't really get into it. I watched 5 episodes of the first series, and I just couldn't get into it. But I know that people really like it, so part of me wants to go back and give it another chance because I know people like it. But maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind to watch it at the time when I was watching it. You know, sometimes you watch something and you're like, oh, I'm not really feeling this, and then you go back to it and you actually like it. So I should probably do that with it.
I
think if you're going to go back, just go to the manga anyway, because literally season 2 and season 3 make no sense whatsoever.
Season 2 is its own, like, without Kaneki makes a decision at the beginning of season 2 that is basically the exact opposite of what he does in the manga.
Yeah, and then they just take bits of them, like they'll take a chapter of the manga and decide, we really want to do this. How can we make this happen? And they build their way to it. It's really fucking dumb.
It's really strange. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's always a problem when you're adapting for a manga or a light novel. It's like, we need to. You've got the fans who are like, I want to see this animated and see what it looks like, and then you see it animated and see what it looks like, and you're disappointed, or they don't do it the way that you think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that can be
like
there's like the problem that some people make things too similar to the manga as well, like the Shokugeki no Soma thing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I have always said this, and I stand by this. I remember. Like I've got, like, I'm sure everybody's gotten the comment of like you talk about a show, you don't like the show, and someone's like, well, the manga's better. And to me, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if the manga's better. It doesn't save a bad show. The show is bad. But the manga can be good. I don't know. Like, maybe one day I'll go back and I'll read the manga. But I don't like the show. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think things.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hate when they do that all the time. It's like, well, the manga's better. But I'm reviewing the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a different medium, guys.
Exactly. A piece of art, whether it's an adaptation or an original creation, should be able to stand on its own.
Yeah. It's like I recently reviewed I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, that movie that's coming out soon, hopefully in America, hopefully. And it's great. The anime's great. However, if you look at all its different iterations, all of them are different. So like the characters don't look how they look in the manga. It's kind of a little bit different from how the light novel reads, and it's definitely not like the live action. And people think the live action's better, but the anime is actually it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. And so you've got people on all different sides of the spectrum, like, oh, but yeah, but the live action was better, and it's got a really good manga, and it's got a light novel. It's one of those weird shows where it's had an adaptation in every single way it can possibly be adapted, and it's all done differently. So you might like one, but you're not going to like the other. And the manga thing always bothers me.
Yeah, I'm not reading the manga. It's super weird that the live action's actually really good for that one as well, because normally the live actions are always terrible.
People love the live action for it. It's meant to be great. I never saw the live action, but it's meant to be great.
Oh, I'll also, I do want to springboard off that because I'm not doing an Otaku Nonsense news this week because Red Dead came out. So I do quickly want to, like, in response to, not response to, like, as a continuation of, like, a piece of art should be able to stand on its own. I just want to quickly say, My Hero has 2 adaptations. There's a video game coming out. Or that's already out, I believe.
It's already out.
Yeah.
And it
came out yesterday.
Shit. And it's really bad. And there's a movie coming out. And it's also probably going to be really bad. But
we already have Sky High.
It's Hollywood adapted, doesn't it?
Yeah, we already have Sky High. And I also don't like that movie.
You see, I think Hollywood could actually do a good My Hero Academia. I mean, it'll probably be shit, but right now. This is one of those few anime that could actually do well.
Yeah,
I watched Dragon Ball. Yes, Dragon Ball sucked, but Dragon Ball wasn't a good choice. Attack on Titan would be a good choice.
Here's the thing, Ku. They could do it right, but they never do. I mean, Death Note was the easiest thing to make into a live-action film.
It was so
easy. They fucked it up.
Well, you're right, and I mean, the most westernized things in the world, like Resident Evil, they fucked that up. They're probably going to fuck up Monster Hunter. It's got Mila Jovovich again for some stupid fucking reason.
Probably. Have you seen the behind-the-scenes pictures?
I saw, but I mean, that's the thing. They showed the guy with the gun, and that looked stupid, but then they showed Mila Jovovich, and she's dressed properly, at least.
No. She's not. She's also, okay. The pitch for the fucking Monster Hunter movie is it's about U.S. Marshals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, cool.
I've heard enough. I'm good.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Who get
JoJo, spy us out. I'm ready.
Wait, this is the perfect way to close it. It's about U.S. Marshals who get transported to the Monster Hunter world. You might say it's an Isekai. And that has been the Isekai podcast. Yes. So we're literally going to end it on that note. Every episode has to start with an Isekai and end with an Isekai.
I think that's doable, to be honest. I think that's very doable.
It's totally, yeah. When we talk about childhood episodes, childhood anime next time, we end it with Digimon.
Exactly.
Oh my god, yes!
Yes, there you go. So that's your okay. Oh, this is like our little preview for next week at the end of an anime. At the end of an anime episode. This is our little preview.
Next time on Isekai Wa Podcast. Hey, Digimon. Hey, Digimon.
Yeah, monster friends, boys and girls. Anyway, okay. Everybody, go ahead and say goodbye. Give your sign off. Ku, you go ahead and start. Just sign off.
Okay.
Fine, Scott, you sign off.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us as always. Be sure to check me out and everybody else here as well because they're all awesome. See you guys later.
Okay. Anybody? Ku, are you actually going to sign off this time or no?
Later, guys. How you doing? Have a good day. Hope you have a fun Halloween. Don't check my stuff out. It's not to do with anime. Bye.
Isla.
Catch you guys later. Enjoy the next weekend seasonal anime. Check me out if you want. I
was going to say, I'm shocked that nobody's plugging themselves, but I appreciate your humbleness. I'm not humble. Y'all go check out my coffee page at the link below. Not even a little bit humble. No, okay. No, I am. Tony, go ahead and sign off.
Cause tonight, baby, I want to get freaky with you.
I'm ending this.
It's not even the right one.